Here it is. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It was the Starbucks thing. She often has like a silly. She sometimes every now and then will have like a silly libbed up take, but I think she absolutely nailed it with the discontent surrounding Starbucks. Okay, here's what she said. The right understands this as a humiliation ritual, as a form of effigy politics in which they deploy Charlie Kirk as a cynic doge. I don't even know what this word means. For the politics of subjugation he practiced, and as the barista as a stand-in for the groups they want to dominate. I'm just gonna just say stand-in, okay? Because that's what it is. Charlie Kirk is a stand-in for the politics of subjugation he practiced, and the barista as a stand-in for the groups they want to dominate: young, queer, non-white, female, etc. Like a metaphor. We live in a time where popular democracy is so atrophied and civic institutions so gutted that even the ascended far right doesn't know how to vent their spleen except through expressive consumption, through symbolic Judas burnings of non-compliant workers. Trump is a master of effigy politics, always finding a salient exemplar to castigate, at whom to direct the screaming hate of millions. Kilmar Brega Garcia, Mahmoud Khalil, Zohran Mamdani, Tyler Robinson, all stand-ins, all effigies for the other to be subjugated and destroyed. Trump speaks to the impotent millions, the workers and petite bourgeoisie adrift in the vortex of an elite-governed technocratic capitalism, raising up effigies for them, totemic vessels for their hate to destroy. He gives them all anyone hopes for anymore: symbolic destruction. Okay? That is precisely the case. I think this absolutely nails this, okay? She's basically saying that all of this is aesthetic red meat, as I like to call it, okay? It's just red meat for the base, because he will never offer real material solutions to their problems, and instead will turn around and find a stand-in for all of the resentments that right-wingers have that perfectly symbolizes this out-group that must be destroyed, okay? And all of that is still ultimately based around this unimaginably childish, idiotic, unproductive assessment of consumption. The Sartre quote: "If the Jew did not exist, the anti-Semite would create him." Yeah. But that's precisely what this is, right? Because this is so insane. Like, you took time out of your day and you act as though you are truly hot, okay? You are truly frustrated. You're mourning. You're in your grief. And what do? You go to Starbucks and you're like, you do this act of consumption, which is the only way that you can get your message across, or the only way that you can champion a cause. You go to Starbucks and you demand that they write Charlie Kirk. Maybe they actually do write it. Maybe they don't, but it doesn't matter. Do you not see the irony in being on the side that is market cornered in virtue, that has the market cornered in virtue signaling? Brother, you need to understand something, okay? These are the things I fucking believe. Virtue signaling implies that I don't actually believe them. I'm just simply saying them because I want clout. This is just something I believe. Maybe some other people engage in this act, but ultimately I would definitely say that virtue signaling is still better than vice signaling, which is what the Republicans are doing. This comes, even the notion of like claiming that something is a virtue signaling moment, unironically comes with the underlying premise that you recognize that your interlocutor, your opposition, your ideological enemy is actually saying or doing something virtuous. You are taking an L on that regard. When I say don't be mean to gay people and you go, that's virtue signaling, you quite literally recognize that that is actually a virtuous position. Are you a villain? Do you define yourself as a villainous person? Do you look to your actions and your belief and say, I'm a bad guy. I love being a fucking bad guy? Don't worry. Republicans have actually decided that they are vice signaling. Okay? This is yet another example of this. My point is, if you were truly grieving, you would not engage in this fucking idiotic act. Okay? Like, it's like liberals. It's like Black Lives Matter. Instead of taking protests to the street, because it's yet another graphic instance of police brutality and the way that policing works in this country under an objectively, systematically racist criminal justice system. Okay, another horrifying reminder of this in the unjustifiable murder of George Floyd. If instead of taking it to the streets, they just went to Starbucks and were like, "Why won't you write George Floyd on this Starbucks cup?" That's fucking stupid. Write George Floyd on the Starbucks cup now. It's the Instagram black square of the right-wing movement. And there's a lot more on the right-wing side that happens. Overall, this is also directionless. Do you understand? Because there is an objective goal here. There is a discernible goal with BLM. It was not achieved because liberals obviously immediately cut it, either co-opted it or co-opted it in an effort to basically neuter it, okay, or stood directly in opposition to it, right? They did do that, the Black Square. I know, but ultimately, I'm not saying that decentralized protest movements that get together in and develop a grassroots initiative are not always going to be demonstrating perfect messaging discipline or perfect tactics, right? There are going to be instances where people do dumb shit. The Black Square is a great example. At the time I said, don't post the Black Square, you're being a fucking idiot, and people yelled at me. Liberals yelled at me for that, okay? They said I was racist. They said I wasn't sufficiently talking about Black Lives Matter at a time when I was, covering this stuff every day and had been for years at that point. So, but it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Listen, directionally speaking, BLM had a discernible goal, a goal that you can associate with changing the way that the criminal justice system works in order to have more just outcomes for black and brown people, okay? Criminal justice reform, policing reform, these were demands that were being made overall. What is the goal with this Starbucks initiative? What do the Republicans want right now? Think. Can you explain to me what the Republican move is here? Because the only thing that I can associate with the anger that they have demonstrated against the assassination of Charlie Kirk is still owning the fucking libs and demanding fealty from the liberals. That's all it is. It's all vengeance. It's a vengeance quest. And the systematic solutions that they want is basically to bring liberals to heel, to demand that like random baristas get fired, to demand that the guy at Jiffy Lube get fired for not sufficiently demonstrating grief about the president's favorite podcaster. That is a psychotic thing. And it's not only psychotic, but it was the violent hallucinations of the right when the liberals were in charge. They literally were saying, this is what the liberals want. Joe Biden never did anything like this, okay? And I hate the guy, but he never did nothing like this.
I want to thank.
But of course, it's good when Trump does it, right? It's good when your side does it. It's bad only if you fantasize that your ideological enemies are doing it to you, even when they're not, and you fucking tune yourself up. You tune yourself up. Also, open mocking is not synonymous with sufficient grief. Half of the fucking people are not even open mocking. Half of the people are actually just simply not demonstrating sufficient grief. That is 100% what is going on here. Have you seen half the people that got fired, like the Ball State person that got fired? Half the people that are getting fired are just simply posting Charlie Kirk quotes. Oh my God, I keep saying Quirk. Charlie Kirk quotes while simultaneously saying political violence is abhorrent. Also, understand that open mocking is also perfectly permissible. What the fuck are we talking about? That's what the Republicans did for fucking years with no penalties whatsoever to George Floyd, including Charlie fucking Kirk.
At the same time, when you have networks that where I want to know
The fuck?
like in county-
Republicans still, after years and years, every fucking day on George Floyd's birthday will post, oh, George Floyd is like, or on the day that he was assassinated, okay, the day that he was killed publicly by Derek Chauvin, okay, they will say 5 years sober now. George Floyd is 5 years sober now. They do it every year. They do it every fucking year. What is that? Why can't you just admit you want to be out and about with whatever you want to say, okay? You want to be able to shit on whoever the fuck you want to, and you don't want your opposition to do the same. Because that's what it comes down to. If it's no holds barred, then you should be able to make fun of Charlie Kirk as well, in the same way that Charlie Kirk made fun of George Floyd, for example. So why do you get up in your fucking fifis?
of the stories.
Anyway, let's listen to this guy.
The networks are bad, or whatever it may be.